We are here with Brian DeVille. Is he the devil or is he not? We don't know. However, we do know for sure that we have a devil of a good time at every one event that he is putting on. And we are sitting out here at the bus stop now waiting for the bus to take us to Sunland. Now, he's the guy who first even told me about this, and I really want to hear his story on how he came across this place and all the magical times he's shared with us so far. So, Brian, how did you actually hear about Sunspace?
I did my research, and I had a friend of a friend ask on tour, and they asked me to locate them a venue for their tour coming into LA. So I did some research and found Unusual Tuesdays.
Whoa.
And so I contacted the venue after that, and the rest is history. But I just have my nose to new events and things happening. At least I try to.
So you just somehow found out about, what led you to, what led you to them? How did you actually hear about the actual venue?
I think I was looking up other venue pages online, and somehow this one popped up. Unusual Tuesdays popped up, and I see the giant oversized paper mache mask, and I thought, that looks weird. What is this? I got to know what this is. And so I look at, I take a look at the page and the events that they're doing, this Unusual Tuesday thing that they got going on. What is that all about? And so I message them and say, hey, here's a thing that we want to have going on. Can we do that at your Unusual Tuesday? And they say, well, not for Unusual Tuesday, but we can do it on this other night. And I said, all right, well, great. And we did that show there summer of 2017. It was the first event we did there. I think it was July. And then after that, we started doing other events there, and it was wild because before our events, they only had they thought like, oh wow, this is great. Are you guys sure you don't want a bigger venue for this? Like, no, we're fine here. This is totally our vibe. It's cool, it's weird, it's funky. It's not, just it doesn't have that strict, vibe to it. And we all dug that. So it worked out for everybody, because before we started doing events there, they only had like singer and songwriters. Like, yeah, we usually have just singers and songwriter type people here, and then you guys are bringing all this noise and electronic and all this like wild stuff. But they dug everything we brought there. They've dug. Like, I've done just pure noise shows there, and they were into it. They're coming out the back taking photos, like, well, what's going on? Like, sitting in the front, like right in front of the stage. And it's amazing that we're able to bring that over there. And soon after those shows, everybody else started doing shows. People in the valley started taking notice. And now here we are like a year and a half later, and they are booked like months in advance now, and which is great for them.
Boy, that's incredible. I mean, it's great that you had helped to stir up the interest over there and stir in some artistry that they had not seen before, and you just introduced them to this whole new realm.
That's what I like doing. I like opening up all these different realms and portals for people. Stuff that, I see people trying to do something. I see people doing something. Not trying to do, but they're doing something. And I say, well, I stroke my beard. I say, well, what if I introduce this other element to this enterprise? What if I bring and connect all these people together? What's going to happen then? What's going to inspire? After that, what happens if I do that, and I back up, and then look at the kind of stuff that's happening now.
Yeah.
And I think that's amazing for them.
Yeah, it's so fun because this is going to be my second night going to Unusual Tuesdays, and I just cannot wait to see what the heck's going to be in store for us, because it's such a wonderful, eclectic blend of various herbs and spices at that place. I love the paper mache heads. I love the fact that it's a family-run institution. And the nephew is behind the soundboard. The son is sometimes behind the piano or the guitar. The uncle, I believe, just sits behind the drum set. And then the father's who runs it. And then I think his wife is in the back selling the drinks in the back there, and it's such a fun. It's a playground where you're there to be in your element, and you're fully in your element, and everybody enables everybody. They turn up the volume on their particular experimentation,
and they let other people experiment as well. That's what's great. It's such a family element, but they're into things. They're just into stuff. Like I said, they were doing, just singer-songwriter nights and pianos and folks and jazz and all that stuff's great. And we brought this, introduced them to all this other elements of electronic and noise and experimental stuff, electronic. And they were with it. They were just open to it. I'm sorry. I'm typing and I'm emailing at the same time. I'm interviewing here.
Yeah, that's fine. So I think what's so fun is so Brian and I have been brainstorming about the November 4th screening with Bloody Bobby, and it'll be sponsored by Meat Clown Industries and Hollowwood World, right?
Yes, Hollowwood World is my company that I'm using to kind of host this event and other events as well, and during releases of music, anything creative and that kind of hinges on slightly obscure, slightly dark tinge of things is kind of what interests me. So that's kind of like what I am open to as far as all that stuff.
Which is interesting too, because hollow. When I think of something hollow, I think of what immediately pops in my brain is a black hole. Even though that is not necessarily even hollow, no matter how deep you go into something that seems hollow, there's always going to be surprises in that hollow space. I believe, whether it be demons of your own imagination, whether it actually be crevices and caverns. Whether it be other portals to other dimensions. So the Hollowwood world, it's interesting because Hollywood, from what I understand, from the little I understand, is it's a kind of tree, I guess, the Hollywood tree, and witches and pagans and stuff use it.
Would use a hollow wood as to cast their spells, and Hollywood is sort of based on the idea. And so their movies, Hollywood is known for movies, and those movies reach out all across the world, and they're translated, and they're everywhere. Everybody recognizes Hollywood and Bollywood, but Hollywood, off of their movies, and so they create this magic that's broadcast.
Yeah.
And so where people would take a piece of hollow wood to cast their spells and to do that.
Yeah.
Hollywood is using like almost the entire town.
Ooh.
And concentrating that effort, and I mean, look how far it's going all across the world.
Like a magic wand, right? You're just casting the spell with the magic wand. The hollow wood.
And I'm touching on the sort of the undercurrent of that.
Yeah.
Like the undercurrent of things that are kind of in and out. They're nondescript in a way, but it's part of just what I enjoy. Kind of what's bubbling underneath the surface of it all.
It reminds me very much of in the opening of Blue Velvet, where you see all this stuff, then choo people with the sprinklers on, and then people over here mowing the lawn and all this stuff, and then the camera goes down. It goes down into the grass, and you see all the bugs that are crawling around in there. And it's like showing you kind of like what's that shadow realm, what's that other world that's hanging around in there. Yeah.
Right.
So it kind of reminds me of that, the way that as I'm hearing you describe this, it reminds me of that kind of thing. Like, okay, the camera's going to now go, what's down here? What's making...
It's really just recognizing reality, and reality is not just the surface talk. It's composed of many layers, and all of them are feeding off each other. All of them just interconnect with each other. So it's really just recognizing reality.
I like it. I like the idea, that spell casting, so to speak, of creating this other reality. The interesting and the beautiful thing about it is actually, like you just said, you're recognizing reality. You're recognizing this particular reality, and it's interesting because the imagination is where it's at. You hear any of these spiritual teachers, I mean, for sure, if you read that CIA document about the gateway experience, the imagination is where it's at. That's where you click out of existence, so to speak, and click into infinity. That's where the wave pattern goes, and it goes off the rails, and it touches, and it clicks out of reality, and it comes right back in, and that's really the place that we want to be. And I think, when I think of a hollow wood, I also think of a tunnel, like a time tunnel, swirling, just a twister of swirling language, information, and then out it comes from that imagination, bam, through this particular venue, through this particular vessel, through this particular channel. And to be able to do what we're going to be doing at Sunspace is so much fun, to know that we're actually conjuring up that reality for these people to walk into and be a part of, to actually live within this reality that we're conjuring for them, like a haunted house of sorts.
Yes. Was there a question? There wasn't a question, right?
No.
Okay. Okay. Then I yes. Sorry.
Well, I know you're typing
I'm
some
emailing stuff at the same time.
Oh yeah,
so
yeah.
I'm in and out with this
Oh
conversation.
yeah, you're clicking it in and out of existence, into infinity and back again. Well, folks, we're going to talk more about this stuff later. The bus is about to arrive.
The bus is about to arrive,
and we shall talk to you guys when we arrive at Sunspace, and then we'll even get an interview with Noel and the gang. We'll see what they have to say about stuff.
And I would like to say that with Hollywood World, I would want it. I wish it to be a sort of hub for some of these things. I'm doing everything myself at the time, but I think that'll change soon. I think as I continue more with events and production and distribution of items, I think more people will come into the fold.
Yeah, I think so too. The momentum is moving at such a rapid pace. More and more people are becoming involved with this stuff, and with full gusto, with full intensity, with full integrity, and bringing their A game all the time, 100% of the time. It just feels so good when that's happening.
Yeah, because it's supposed to be inclusive. It's meant to include, our kind of people. And that's not, for anyone that doesn't know us, that's not in any sort of derogatory term. That just, I found some candy.
Yeah, as Me Clown would say, mutually beneficial. So, folks, we got the bus coming up. I'm going to have to get to my wallet. We'll talk to you later.
This is like the physical body.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my God.
The other thing being here, there's been so many people that started doing creative endeavors together just from meeting up here.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And now there's these camps of people where it's you guys all live a block away from each other. They all hang out now, and that's it. What guy?
I had a cup of delicious beverage that I lost.
No.
Cup of delicious beverage.
You did not leave that with me.
I will find it. Red Solo cup.
How long ago did this play? Can I record you for my podcast? Can I interview you for my
Yeah.
podcast? Is that all right? So I want to interview you about this, and then obviously any of your own endeavors, that you have rocking and rolling out there. If you have music or art
I
or
do.
whatnot.
Yeah, and then it's the album right next to it too. Yeah. This is my stuff, Elsie May.
Oh, cool.
This is a much older one. Still awesome stuff on it, but this is where things are going now.
That's where
This is where things are going.
This is where I know it looks like this is better production than this, but trust me, this is better.
But this
I love that it's on the record. It's on the record. I love it.
Yeah, that's what's happening right now.
This was DIY. This was my crafting. I did all the
Brilliant
labeling myself. Other people did that.
Now, do you perform here?
I do. I'm going to be playing tonight, possibly.
Good. You might as well.
I might be.
You got a venue here. How cool is that?
I'm ready. Someone canceled, so I'm on standby. Of
so you're on there.
Do we need to fill the list tonight? But I always sing in the intro. I sing in the outro, so I'm always part of Tuesday.
And she was just skiing there for those who couldn't see.
I was. That was the jazzercise, the Nordic track. That's what it is. It's the Nordic track.
Oh, the Nordic track.
Yes.
Yeah.
You can hear my feet skidding.
It's the Nordic track.
But then there's the Cherry Bomb show that we were talking about earlier. So that's
October 27th.
And it's all female performers. So I have a female MC, female comics, female-led bands. The visual artists are all female or female-led. And this is the second one I've put on, and I hope I do a lot more. It's every 2 months right now. Yeah, I know. And just like the Runaways are like freaking awesome, and I was just like, it took forever to find the name. I was stuck for so long. I was like,
how much were they an inspiration on the name, on finalizing and deciding on the name?
They were a pretty decent inspiration. Growing up, I was friends with Cherie Carey's son Jake. We were just we lived up down the street from each other. And I just never knew who his mom was. And I was just like, that's Jake's mom. She's got a cool cherry tattoo on her ankle. Like, Jake's mom's awesome. And then like as you get older, you realize like, Cherie Carey? Holy shit!
No wonder she's so cool.
So when the name came back into my head, I was like, oh, yeah, of course, Jake's mom. Yeah, like, I love the name. Let's do it. So yeah, that was pretty much the biggest factor of it. It was like, oh wait, I have a connection to this, and I totally forgot about it.
It ties in more than meets the eye than someone would explain. And anybody else just deciding on that name, it kind of has a little bit of a more of an undertone, something of a personal meaning.
Totally. And also just like the vibe of that, hello daddy, hello mom, I'm your cherry bomb. To me, that was kind of like the woman that I wanted to give a place to play for, was just that like badass chick rock. I don't give a fuck. This is my art. This isn't, I can be small and wilty and quiet if I want, or I can be like L7 and crazy. It doesn't matter. Like, you can just come and play here. And I felt like that song kind of had that vibe to it.
You can be the cherry bomb.
Yeah, exactly. You can just be whatever you want. Cherry bomb.
You do this once a month, you say?
Every 2 months.
Oh, every 2 months.
Yeah. So
how many hours or how long is the...
The first one was from like 6:30 to like 10:30. So I think this one will be done at like 11. I'm moving it starting at 7 though, because it was kind of like doing the first one was realizing people don't really get here that early, and it was a Sunday, so it's still working out some kinks with it. But I think it'll probably go from like 7 to at least 11:30 midnight, because we have 3 bands, 2 comics, and then an MC, and then obviously change over time in between everyone.
That's
how
a
cool
good
is
variety.
that? How awesome is that to be able to have a venue, to have your own spot where you can kind of create your own reality and have it here, have it go on here.
It's really cool. It's also stressful sometimes too, because like as an artist, I'll be at home sometimes and be like, oh, I'm such a lazy motherfucker. I'm not even doing anything. Like, I could be just booking a show at Sunspace and get it. Because you have that option all the time, there's a little more added pressure of like, why am I not doing it all the time? But there's still also like the exciting fun part of it of like, I can and I have the opportunity to do that. And it's also really cool working, like I get to work with my husband, I work with my father-in-law, so it's like kind of a nice family.
That's what I love when I came here last Tuesday.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my god, who's the family member who was working here last Tuesday? There was a woman who...
I was probably
Was it his...
It was either Guy's mom or Guy's sister. It's either Ailey or Jenny. Ailey's like a little bit taller than me, like straight brown hair, glasses.
Who's
real
the woman?
ones,
She had like
not
shorter
fake
hair.
Shorter? That's Jenny.
You
so that's Noel's wife.
You mean the ones you're wearing right now?
She was the one who's here. So I love that. I love the fact that.
Right?
I love that you just reach through a hologram. You're just she's supernatural. She goes, put her finger right through the glass.
Glass.
I love
like, her just like super cool.
The lens is just a hologram. I love it.
It's very interactive.
It's Google's feature.
So
I think that was Jenny that was here.
How long did it take for you to make this one?
So this one was actually, it didn't take very long because this is a live recording. So we did this here on the 19th of June.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so it's, there's mistakes or they're just like intended goals.
There's happy accidents.
Yeah, there's happy accidents in it. So
Those are the charms right there.
We set up like all the mics and everything and just ran a rehearsal because there was a show coming up. So this was the set list for the show. And this was back in June. So it only took, I want to say, like 2 or 3 hours maybe to do like all the recordings, and then Gaia edited it and mixed it and everything. I don't know how long that took him.
That is fun.
That's his department.
How many other folks are in your band? Is it you?
Right now it's just me and Gaia and Noel, but we are always looking for another bass player. I don't know. It's bands.
How cool.
Yeah. But
You're always looking for another bass player?
Yeah, I'm looking for another bass player just because it's hard sometimes because Noel's always here in Sunspace, and it's like well, if I want to play someplace
It's just
else.
guitar, drums, bass. Is that what it is? Oh,
I play electric rhythm guitar. I don't have a lead guitar player, but it's pretty cool. I like it.
But you might be open to it.
I'd be open to one. Yeah, be easier to like play around more with it. Because right now I only play here. Because that's the other aspect of like I also work here.
Yes.
Since like I work and perform here, and like I kind of just live here, here in Disneyland. But yeah.
and why not? This place is. I mean, you get to talk about like Disneyland. That's out of the imagination of Disney. This is your own, in a sense, Disneyland. You're kind of you get to create your own little world here out of your own brain, which is just phenomenal.
There's make believe. There's whimsical natures to it. Sometimes it's so packed in here that you can't walk from this room to that. So it's like Disneyland.
Wow.
In that aspect.
There's surreality.
Yeah,
Yes.
exactly. It's just not as expensive, which is so much better.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
like
Right here in our own backyard.
the wildest ride in the wilderness. No, it's everything about Sunspace though. Like all the pros outweigh any of the cons. Like it really is really cool to just like come here, create, and watch other people create, or like help other people. Like that's a new aspect of it for me too that like I didn't really do much of before, was like helping other artists. Like the first Cherry Bomb show I did, I got to pay 2 of the acts, and they were like, "This is the first time I've made money performing."
That's
I was-
happened. Yes, that's happened with me too. I understand.
Isn't it like such a wholesome feeling
Oh
of
my
just
God.
like I got to make, because I remember my first paid gig. I think I might even still have that dollar somewhere. Like, you know what I mean? And I wasn't expecting that at all. I had no expectations of like I'm gonna make someone else's night and lift. No, it was like I just want to put on a good show and help out some artists. And the fact that I got to help 2 acts get paid for the first time ever was just like,
Yeah, isn't that great?
it was so cool. I was like, I'm so glad you're happy about $13.
Yeah, I love it. That's so cool. It meant so much to them because it didn't have to happen. You know, that's the beauty of it. It's like even if it was $13, it's like, yeah, but that didn't have to happen. Like
Yeah.
that was just a wonderful, glorious gift out of the heavens. You know,
Yeah.
that just.
And one of them was a comic too. She's like, "Oh, I just didn't expect to ever make money being a comic." Like,
It's awesome, and you know what? And they'll forever remember that too, which is beautiful. You provided this wonderful memory for them to relish in.
I'm like the Mother Teresa of music.
Yeah,
No,
the
I'm
Mother
just
Teresa
kidding.
of music.
Totally
All right, the
kidding.
Mother Teresa of
Print
music.
it.
Oh yeah,
Print it.
you heard it here first. Sunspace houses the mother of the music, the Mother Teresa of music. You heard it here first, folks.
Only here at Sunspace.
Here at
And,
Sunspace.
and Darwin is overseeing it all. He's overseeing your evolution every step of the way.
Yes.
He is. He's my
I just grew a wing. I just grew a prehensile tail.
That's all of the masks just come forth from Darwin.
Yeah.
Actually, no, just kidding. Noel makes all of the masks, but they might as well be.
You know what? Oh, that was one thing I was thinking. You know, that'd be so fun if you had little classes here on how to make paper mache.
We have done that.
You have?
Yeah, so Noel's done. They're if you check the calendar online, every now and again you'll see like maybe he'll pop up another one. But because he was fixing a couple of the things, so he was just in here one day already doing it and invited a bunch of people to come and just learn how to paper mache with him.
Oh, that's
That
great.
is so great.
I love the crafting days here. Like sometimes they start to almost outweigh the like the music and the
So
performance
fun.
is great. I love it, but I love like crafting. And the last time some girl brought Cat 5 cables and stripped the cables, and it was just the wires inside,
nice, yeah.
and we were knitting with cables.
Wow.
Incredible.
Dude, it was the coolest fucking thing ever.
Your
Like
necklace, you showing that?
That's
Or
incredible.
I think I have pictures of it,
I
but
want to see.
Copper.
I want to go to there.
it's not like, oh my gosh, it's beautiful. It's not the prettiest thing ever, but just it was. You know, I'm so used to seeing knit sweaters. Like it's something you just take for granted,
Yeah,
and then
put this on.
yeah, getting
Grandma.
to make it out of a different material was just really kind of like, oh my gosh, this is like changing my world here.
Cables. Wow.
Yeah,
This on Grandma Cherry Bomb.
yeah, exactly. Grandma, you gonna love
Walks in the
this.
bridge.
Oh.
No, but it was really cool. Yeah, the crafting
not your
days we
grandma's
do are the
knitting.
best.
That's your grandma's knitting tonight, man.
Well, there's the Doodah Parade in Pasadena.
Oh my God, so
And that's
awesome.
Love that.
So awesome.
So I've never been to it. I've just like
Oh my God.
heard about it. But
There ought to,
that's,
Sunspace ought to get a spot in the Doodah Parade to put on some some crazy things.
That's what this was for, not necessarily Sunspace's part in the Doodah Parade, but so they're from, the Zorthian Ranch. Have you ever heard of?
No,
It's
but
in
I want to know
La
more.
Cañada. It's like super cool. Check it out. So anyways, this is like the Zorthian Ranch crew. And this was, so they call it trashin', like trash fashion. And so she found the cables.
Trashin', that's great.
Yeah, and I was like, let's try and make it.
What the hell? These
Yeah.
are cables?
Yeah, these are cables.
Oh my god, that's incredible!
That's what I'm saying. These are.
It looks like it's like yarn, but it's totally not.
Oh my god.
That's the inside. I think she said it was a Cat 5, so she just stripped the outside wire.
It looks like a face, like a face hugger from
Oh
Aliens.
my
It
god.
And we
does.
just made a little brooch. We're just practicing, so I just
Oh my
knitted straight
God, what
out.
a cool.
But that's what
great.
crafts is all about, is trying something new and realizing you can create something either
Oh my
functional
god.
Yeah,
or just cool.
You must meet so many creative, awesome people from doing this. Like,
it's overwhelming.
does everybody just start levitating at some point? Like, I would think the harmony is at an all-time high.
I think so. Like it definitely at some point. At least for for me, like I'm like an extrovert's extrovert, so it's just like yay, new friends. But like I don't know, Guy sometimes is a little more introverted, and it's like oh, there's just so many new people that we're meeting. I'm so happy, but like there are a lot of people like because everyone did just kind of like gravitate once
I
they found
love
out
it.
that we were
This
here.
place is a beacon.
But we had so many people just in the community, like back on Art Street and stuff, that were like, this area didn't have this. It didn't have like a just open, wacky venue. There are places you can play around here, but it's your very typical, like, you're gonna play in a bar, there's gonna be the game on while you're playing, and you can't say boo about it. And by the way, you're not gonna like be able to fit anyone in here.
And you might not get paid.
And you might not get paid. Exactly.
But damn.
But
We pay you.
and that was what they were telling us. It was just like, this is so cool that you guys have this place where it's not like you have to be this type of band and fit this slot. It's just like, do you have passion for what you're doing? Then come do it here. Like, we only ever had one person that we had to like nix, and it was just they were just like screwing around on stage, like way too drunk, couldn't remember their song starting over, and that's the only person that we've ever been like, dude, you gotta go. Did
you guys pull out the cane with the hook and?
No,
just-
we're so nice. It was just it was like a polite sort of like just not getting invited back, kind of like
yeah,
slowly like you figure it out.
Yeah.
But that was my point, was just like they didn't have a passion necessarily for what they were doing. That was just like
Right.
I don't
Yeah.
know what they were doing on the stage. That's their own psychological journey, man. Like go see a therapist, just not on my stage. But yeah, the community was just like, we didn't have a place for this, and they were just really thankful for it, and we didn't know that we were going to get that response, and we were thankful for it, and
my gosh,
now
so
here we
cool.
are almost 2 years later. Like,
Yes.
it's just gone by. It's so crazy.
You know what's so beautiful? One of the one of the biggest lessons I've been learning is just that idea of creating the art that you want to see in the world.
Yeah.
You know, when we decide to take on that responsibility of becoming the media, like that's beautiful, because we're really going, you know what, I'm choosing to take the power away from the hands of those who stamp their approval on what I'm doing.
Yeah.
I'm becoming the media.
Becoming the media.
Point. That's really insightful,
What's
man.
good, Kimberly? She makes her own YouTube.
If I had a light
videos.
bulb,
What's good?
I'd put it right above my head. Dang.
Becoming the media.
That's really interesting, Kurt.
Thank you.
You
And
make
that's
me
what you're
ponder.
doing.
You make me stop and go, yeah, I love that.
Yes.
It's like getting back to create the world that you want to have, rather than trying to change the world. You can create the world you want to have.
Yeah,
There's a difference. Because some people are beating their head against the wall trying to change the world, and it's like, no, why don't you create
Just
the
create
space
the world.
you want to
If
have?
you build it, they will follow.
If
Yes.
you build it, they will follow.
It's
yeah.
loose, it's fun, it's enlightened, it's fun. But this, you're creating the world that you
But
want to see,
imagine
and then
if
people
you
are
had
coming
this
by.
idea, but instead you found a coffee shop and you were like trying to get them to do this. And I'm trying to get them to be creative. And some people are doing that instead of going, what's for rent? This is dope. Let's do this. Let's just create.
Would have been pulling
Because some people,
Yeah.
that's the difference between, I think that's the spirit of being an entrepreneur, is instead of going in and trying to change this, I'm just going to make my world. And you can come in it and vibe or not, you know? Yeah. I like it.
And those who do gravitate towards it, they're operating on the same. They're listening to the same radio station. They're operating on the same frequency anyway. So those are your people. You found your people.
Yes.
You know, you've done your beacon.
Yeah.
And they start, you know, coming in, and before you know it, you got all these playmates that you can work with on who knows what kind of other future projects.
There's no way of knowing. There's so many options of future projects.
Imagine if this place was a coffee shop, you'd have people. That's a little too strange for me. I'm trying to enjoy my decaf.
It's a little too strange.
That just doesn't work for me.
Yeah.
You know, we've done art shows in coffee shops, and people have complained about that. That art makes me feel weird. I don't want to see and it's very like non-volatile art. It's not, you know.
You're
art
like,
that's
you
intended
should
to
see some of the
violate.
stuff at the house.
Yes.
But it's so fun because you've created your own world here, and then people can either choose to vibe with it or choose not to vibe with it. Very simple, very easy. And if you do vibe with it, we'll turn up the volume on your element, and we want to see more of that.
Yeah. Yeah, and just like any place, we've had people that have just been like, oh, this is way too weird, like, not my jam. And it's just like, awesome, cool. There's so many other places where you can have a great time. I hope you find one.
Go
Bye-bye.
find one. Yeah, goodbye.
And then I think at first we had like one or two people brought their kids in and they were a little scared by the masks. But that was a little just like sussing out like, do kids think they're cool? Or nope, they're terrified of them.
Yeah, like the parents are making that decision, right? And then there are
totally.
Then there are those parents who are like, my kids would love this place with the masks on the wall. Are you kidding me? And then they like choose to bring them here.
It's differentiating that people have seen Pee-wee's Playhouse and not have seen
Absolutely.
This place always makes me think of Pee-wee's Playhouse.
This is like Pee-wee's
And we even
Playhouse,
have
totally.
the blue chairs out there that I just want to put the eyeballs on and make a cherry so bad.
Oh my god, yeah. Oh my god, yeah.
See, but I grew up watching that, so like to me that's like normalized and not scary. It's like, no, that's cool, yeah. And the guy who had the kid, I felt bad for him. It was one of those, like, he came to the bar and, like, had his hands, and it was like, I'm so sorry, we gotta go home. I gotta take him home.
Oh my god,
like,
you gotta go home.
He's not having fun.
And you're like, your kid is not terrified, you're terrified, right? The kid has nothing to do with the terror, you're the one who's
Just
scared.
own up to it.
Yeah. Exactly.
It's okay.
It's perceived terror.
Yeah.
There's nothing actually wrong.
Right.
It's life without a little terror in it
Yes,
every now and again. Makes you feel alive.
Oh my god.
It's a great line.
It's so true.
You know what? What I say about this place very often is that the outside, the neighborhood around here, is almost very Twin Peaks-ish. You know, on the outside. Now, when you come inside, it's almost like a colorful version of Tim Burton with all these faces and masks and wire skeletons roaming around.
Yeah.
And people kind of understand that and they come in here like, wow, you're right, it is kind of like this. So it's kind of between something like Tim Burton and Pee-wee's Playhouse and Twin Peaks and all these different elements coming together.
Yeah. Well, Brian, you're like the first like promoter booker we had here, or at least one of the first ones.
Was I really one of the first ones?
Oh yeah,
Yes.
Did you not know this? Oh, like
I knew I was
Brian
early,
DeVille, I
but,
have way
here.
back in the calendar, like yeah. So, as I say, you've probably seen just as much as we have, like new things change and get weirder and cooler here over the past like, year and a half.
That's great.
I'm always promoting this place. I love this place.
Yeah, you were like I think one of the third or fourth people that because I remember that was the thing. I remembered seeing your name all the time in the emails. It was like, okay, this is a familiar like Brian DeVille. Brian DeVille. Got it. So yeah, no, definitely.
Oh, yeah.
Wow,
And
that is so
I
cool.
remember shortly after I booked the first show here, and we were talking about this earlier, Kurt and I. It was because of one of the bands that you have here, Church Fire. A mutual friend of ours said, "Oh, hey, talk to Brian. You're looking for a show out in LA. Talk to Brian." And so I was like looking at venues. I'm like, okay, where can I find a venue, and I was looking at related content and other things popping up, and Unusual Tuesdays popped up, and I was like, oh, well, let's see what this is about. Can we do Unusual Tuesday? Like, well, no, not the Unusual Tuesday. It's kind of our thing, but let's do it on this other night.
Yeah.
And then I started doing those shows over that summer last year, and shortly after that, other people started doing shows here. I'm like, wait a minute. Did they already have something?
Wait a minute.
No, they were inspired by what, and then after talking with you guys, I
Good to see you again, man. Good to see you again, dude.
I recognize that that's where
It's so fun to be here. This is Kimberly.
Jelani,
Nice to meet you. So we're putting on that. You're on my podcast, by the way.
Oh, okay, cool. Hey, podcast.
And
Blown away, but it's just like I did not.
dude, I love it. These guys, this whole place is just so great. So we're gonna put on that screening on November 4th. I wanted her to check, kind of suss out the situation,
okay,
see the vibe of everything, and now she's getting sugar plums dancing in her heads, and it's like, I mean, it's just so cool. That everything here is just so damn artistic, and you know the way she's talking, it's like we were just discussing, like you guys are creating. Kind of like just like with Disneyland, it's out of Disney's imagination. Well, this is your version of Disneyland. It's out of your imaginations, and people get to come in here and experience this whole world.
Wow, yeah. They
get to
do
experience this reality.
Yeah. And I mean, I don't know, it's just we're trying to create a space where people can come and ply their creative crafts, whatever those might be. That's it, man.
It's great how you're both sound man and also sometimes are you playing the guitar or the bass when you get up there?
Guitar. I'll be playing guitar and running the sound. And I'll be playing some techno as well tonight.
Oh, good.
So,
Good.
Yeah, hopefully people like techno.
Yeah. It's so great. This is just such a beautiful family vibe, man. It was just so great. Every time I talk about this place, I'm like, yeah, there's like this, it's like a family-run institution.
Oh, yeah, man. It's like I've been like playing music with Noel forever. He's like showed me pretty much everything I know. And it's just always just a pleasure to get to hang out and check it out and see where he takes it. It's a lot of fun. Oh, yeah.
It's so fun that you guys actually have this place where you can just put on whatever the heck you want, whether it's a one-act play. If you decide to write a one-act play, you can put it on here. If you decided to make a freaking musical theater, you can put it on here. If you want to do one of those freaking, Mr. Murder Mystery things, you could do that here as well.
Oh, yeah. I mean, we really can do anything. But pretty much we're just doing like live music film screenings and like comedy shows. That's been like kind of our bread and butter since we've been starting. So it's kind of where we're at right now.
Ladies and gentlemen, you got to make it out here. You got to make it out here. Look for the sun sign. Kimberly was driving around. She's like, okay, is this the right place? Is it night? Yeah. In the daytime, you could see the sun sign, but at night, yeah. Do you guys have a light on that sign?
We don't. It just goes down.
We don't. Yeah. That makes sense.
Flashlight, you know?
Just a little, yeah.
Flashlight.
Shine a little.
Have a little Hercules doll.
Yeah, we've been thinking about trying to get some lights on there, but it turns out it's more complicated to get into that box because actually we don't own access to that like giant sign. It's like
Really?
some other building in here has like the light switch for it and stuff. So yeah.
How did you guys put the sun in there?
So I guess Noel painted it up there. He just got a huge ladder and painted it with acrylic paint.
Oh my god!
Yeah.
So he just painted it up there.
Yeah.
He's just like, okay, I'm putting the sun up here. Here it is. This is what's going on.
Yeah. I mean, there used to be a sign for there used to be a smoke shop, right? And we had access to their signed real estate, so Noel just painted a giant sun up there.
You know what just popped into my brain is those lights that like you'll see. So I grew up out in the Chicagoland area, and the people would have these lights out in their yards. Mm-hmm. And when the sun went down, like somehow throughout the day, it powered the lights somehow. It would soak up the energy. As soon as the sun went down, the lights would go on. So maybe there's something like that could even just light up just that sun, just so people could see from the street.
Might be able to stick something up there. It just when we looked into it logistically, it seems like it's a bit of a stretch for us right now. But in the future, who knows what will hold there? We'll see. See what we can do.
I just love how this is on the corner of Sunland and Wheatland. So it's both the sky and the earth at the same time.
Oh, absolutely. Oh man. What is this podcast about?
Oh, it's called Inspirado Projecto.
Inspirado Projecto.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's all about the process of creation.
The process of creation.
Yeah.
Oh.
That's why this is so enticing to me, is to hear about how things get stirred up, how all the spices and the seasonings end up growing this awesome creation.
I mean, it's been surprising to see how many creative people there are just out there who haven't had a chance to actually just try and, put on some sort of show or just display what they've been working on.
Yeah.
And a lot of people, I think they would want to do that, but it takes so much effort to organize something yourself and to have a space that already exists where people can come and be creative is pretty nice.
And the fact that you guys offer that kind of opportunity for people to just to experiment with that stuff. Last Tuesday, it was so cool to see those people do that one, that 10 minutes of like what seemed like a play. I don't know if it was or just a monologue or what, but this is such a wonderful place for people it's a sandbox for people to test out what they're doing.
Oh yeah, that guy was been coming for the past 2 months, something like that. That was actually that was a play. They had lines and everything. They were back here rehearsing before the show went on. Those guys are perfect for Sunspace, man. They got all their crazy like puppets and like, oh man, and then their giant golden bicycle with other strange things on it. It was fantastic.
They did the Kabuki theater style where they're both dressed all black, hidden in black, and then the puppets. You got it was the sun and the moon, I think.
Yeah, it was the sun and the moon. And they're talking to some mysterious traveler, and he thought he had all the answers, and they were just being very rude to him the whole time. It was quite funny.
That's right. And then off next to him was like a moose or something. So it was such a great thing. So you get like the universe, and then you just get like Mother Nature and both of their attitudes, and meanwhile you get this just like sort of like dumbfounded human, who's just expounding upon things.
Yep, just consulting his maps, and he can never actually look all the way through them. It's very sad.
That's right. And then the moose picked it up and took a crap on it, which is hilarious. It's like just showing like, oh come on, maps, come on. What do you need the maps for?
Oh man, to find everywhere I'm going these days, man, it's crazy. Yeah. There's so many places I never would have found without my phone. I can tell you that much right now. I think I'd be just living in about a square mile of my apartment.
Oh yeah. Oh my gosh, dude. The fact that, like, what I like is, okay, with the way that the technology has moved along, I'm thinking you guys could actually do like a Periscope or like a Instagram Live or something like that shows the Unusual Tuesdays. A live stream, even if it was a live stream that's just back here at what's going on here. Mm-hmm. So at-home viewers can even feel like they're there at the shows. Have you guys thought about that kind of stuff?
We have thought about that kind of stuff, and then looking into it, it seems a little bit daunting to do it in a way that is good enough that it comes, like, what we're showing actually is good to watch and entertaining. Because, I mean, unless you have, like, good microphones and a pretty good camera system, it's not going to sound very good. So, but we haven't really experimented to see what's actually possible, so.
I just had this vision in my brain, like, I guess in a sense this is kind of a seat, but I'm thinking, like, even if you had, like, a live, the people who are about to go up on stage, maybe they could even sit here, if you got something or a camera over there or something, and they talk right into the camera, like, oh, I'm about to go on stage, I'll see you up there. It might be interesting. Yeah. So they're at-home viewers, maybe their friends or the family, whoever's watching, and they could be like, oh my God, that's so crazy. I can't be there, but, thank you for addressing me, so to speak.
I mean, and it would be great. I mean, I think that a lot of people, I tell my friends about the shows that we have here, and actually we get some really talented musicians in here. And it would be great to be able to have people tune in that can't make it a little bit far away, because there's some special things that go on, and it would be nice to share those things.
Yeah. Even if it's a bad quality, or if there's a weird, like, that again fits into the charm of what's going on here at Sunspace.
Yeah.
Even if there was a lag in it, or something strange, I just have a feeling that there would still be something about it that would be like, oh, that's quite strange. That's quite surreal. I must go there in person and view it.
Oh, yeah. And I think the thing is, too, it's like everyone here is kind of like doing their part, and to like set that up, that's like another daunting task. It's just going to require some more investment and just more time to figure out. But
do you guys have Wi-Fi here?
We do. We have Wi-Fi. It's not bad. Tens of megabits per second.
Oh, good. Tens of megabits. And plus you have that magical outlet over there, which this one, that charges phones so fast. The fastest charging phones.
Yeah. If you come to Sunspace, you talk to us, we'll charge your phone. Like, if we have enough phone cables, no problem. We got you. Possible.
It'll charge fast, trust me. Very, very fast. No other place on earth charges as fast as this particular outlet does.
Yeah, guaranteed.
Guaranteed. Yeah.
There's fine print though. You gotta come to Sunspace, read the fine print.
Yeah, read the fine print. Did you make any of these cool masks, Ron?
No. This is actually all the masks, all of the strange edited art. This is Noel's stuff. We have some people that there's one person that donated us this picture of who was it, Pink Floyd, and he hated the painting, so he gave it to us. And then Noel was like, I don't really want this. We're just going to have people that come here just paint on it, so that's what happened with that.
Oh, that's great. It's slowly morphed.
Yeah, we just let people draw on our little chalkboard here if they want to. Our friend Michelle hasn't been in a while, but she does all these caricatures. She might be here if y'all come down. We got a friend of Sunspace, Ailey. She's like a photographer. She's got some of her stuff displayed up here.
This place is like Shangri-La, I swear. It's just so good, man. So good. Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes this little tiny giblet. We will be back again. You must come down to Sunspace. Is it Sunland or is it in Shadow Hills?
Space.
Sunland.
Yeah.
Sunland. On the cusp of Shadow Hills, sort of, right?
I think we might technically be in Shadow Hills. We call ourselves Sunland.
Which is
Sunspace.
beautiful. The fact that it's Sunland and Shadow Hills, you got Sunspace. It's like a freaking eclipse.
Yeah, I don't know about an eclipse, but it's definitely lots of sun talk. Lots of sun talk and
A lot of sun talk.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
We'll talk to you more later.
Hi, this is Jay Aaseng from Twin Peaks: The Return. You're listening to Inspirado Projecto.
And the pictures show us. Has anybody ever been somewhere and they took a picture of something? Does anybody have a camera? Well, you have to get a camera and then you get, well, how many exposures are in the film? 24 or 36? You have to take the picture and then send it in and get it developed. But you send it in, and it's called Show Us What You Got.
Yeah!
Arsaping sent this picture, a brown sofa.
Finally!
And the brown sofa is this is a top sofa that was sent in by Pearson Town. This is just across the street from Sam's Liquor. Has anybody ever been to Sam's Market? If you ever are wondering where to go get a beer or go to Sam, don't go to 7-Eleven. If you go to 7-Eleven, we will intercept you as you try to cross the dangerous. Such a dangerous street. Go across the Sam's, but do not slam the ice bag.
Never! Bam! Never do it.
Imbentau sent this picture in. This is. If you ever see a picture of a animal around that you come in contact, take a picture of it and send it in, and we will. This, of course, is a everything bagel. Jarmonton sent this picture in.
Yeah!
It's Halloween. They saw this picture that was in. It was too scary. Premier Liquor just here on Glen Oaks. And if you go, this is over here at Glen Oaks and Sunland Boulevard. Different pictures of the different Premier. We have Erica Badu. Jimmy Dawson. Michael Jordan.
Jimi Hendrix.
Bobby McGee!
Bobby McGee.
Jim Morrison.
Jim Morrison. Colin McGregor.
Phil McGillicuddy!
Phil McGillicuddy.
Johnny Cash.
Johnny Cash. Rick James.
Eddie Murphy!
No.
Eddie Murphy!
Selena Gomez.
With the wig! Johnny Cash! Again!
This is all over
On
the
tour.
Premier Liquor. Best cup of coffee in town. Checked in at 79 degrees. Tell them Austin Drizzle sent you. In the parking lot. This is if you ever see some. Have you ever been in a parking lot and seen something?
Only once!
If you ever see something in a parking lot, take a picture of it.
Uh-oh!
This is over at the Vons.
A TARDIS!
Actually, at the this is over at the Ralph's, and our Shippington sent this.
My
picture.
car keys!
The robot baby.
No.
Twinkie!
Aliens.
Robot cell.
We're gonna have to
Back to
wipe
the
this
Future.
thing off like a counter that is in a extremely filthy restaurant.
Finally!
Yeah. And you're gonna have to wipe it down, and you're gonna have to send those paper towels into the CDC, and they're going to examine what's inside those paper towels, because I don't think what you're going to like what the results are.
Finally! Some verification!
Okay. All right, hold on a second. Come on up here for a second.
You're on my podcast.
When you think about podcasts are an extreme waste of time. Has anybody noticed that about podcasts?
Many of us do sit on the couch. Many of us do sit on the couch.
Well, I would like to sit on the couch with you, but maybe I wouldn't.
Don't let it happen.
Now, I got a question. You got a phone, and it's got a weird thing sticking out. Why do you have a weird thing sticking out of your phone?
That's the antenna to the universe.
But wait a minute.
Toilet plunger. It's a toilet plunger.
But wait a minute.
Did you just say mini toilet?
Hold on. Wait a minute. I think I'm going to have to call the authorities here. Well, once upon a time there was a guy. He came in from a long way. Everybody knew he was Uzu. And so everybody gave him a kiss on the cheek. And so they told him, don't go away. And so he went away, and everybody was happy because he went away. And then he went away, and so he stopped. Anybody now is over and now. And that's the end of the podcast, everybody.
Tune in next time.
What's the name of the podcast?
Inspirado Projecto.
Well, I'm gonna watch this podcast.
Of course.
But it's not. From what I've seen so far, it's not a very good podcast. You're gonna have to make this podcast better because this podcast doesn't have
It doesn't have what?
dancing.
Spaz. It doesn't have spaz yet.
Okay. Now.
Oh, no, please don't.
This is called Please Don't Drum.
Please don't drum.
We've already seen enough drummers tonight, so don't drum.
Please don't drum.
We've got too many drummers, so don't you drum.
Please don't drum.
Okay, what do you think of that song? Don't you drum.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Well, you're welcome, except to the extent that I've got a weather report to do. So, I mean, it's like I've already wasted way too much time here, and we've got people that are wondering what's going to happen. In the
Weather. Is there rain?
Yeah.
Is there rain? Is there rain?
We have a craft, a blue craft. It's traveled billions and millions of miles, and it's very disappointed to what it's discovered so far. It's coming to here, and it's like, is this what you have here? And it's like, yeah, this is what we have here, and it's like, not impressed. And, well, I'm not here to impress anybody. I'm just here to dance. Dance to my lover, dance. Every night and day I wanna dance. Just like you, I wanna dance all night. Well, what do we got? Anything else?
Oh, we have technical difficulty here.
Okay. Well, I think that when it gets to this point, and no one knew when they came here that we were going to descend to this kind of level. Just like you were, they didn't know they were going to be going down into a septic pit that had not been emptied and not been pumped for many years. They didn't know. They thought they were coming to Sunspace. But they knew that we always ended with a song that's called Unusual Tuesdays. You never know what you're Okay, hold on a second. So the question was, in the parking lot, what is this? They sent a picture of what this was. If you see something in the parking lot, not sure what it is, send it in. This is a shopping cart, and it's a wire structure that's used to place purchased items in so that you can bring them to the cash register and they can ask you to pay for them, and the totally orderly exchange of money, and you get the items. Well, wonderful. That's what that is. Ow! In the parking lot. This is at the Pep Boys, an orange spot.
Oh yeah.
All right.
Sunland Post Office. This was in the Sunland Post Office.
That's right.
At the McDonald's.
Big Mac, baby.
That's a chicken nugget, right? Could be.
No.
When I
Wilson.
signed up
Life's fault.
back in 1961, when I said that I would do this show,
How old were you?
I was just a young man. I was only 48 years old.
Wow.
I'd been married 7 times already. My first wife, Portia, wonderful woman.
Ow!
Hit songs.
Then my second wife, Mercedes, was even better than her. But I had no idea that I would have to put up with this kind of crap when I took this job. And yet, do they pay me a lot? Yeah, they pay me a lot. All the money that comes into this, it goes to me. That's why when you see one of those Lamborghinis driving up at 75 miles an hour, that's me. But I did not know. I would have taken that Lamborghini and I would have sent it back to the dealership and said, no, I'm not going to do this job. If I had known that I would be here right now putting up with this kind of crap.
Yeah, you tell him.
Woo!
Yeah. Yeah.
Sunspace, a couple pieces of crusty bread in the parking lot. The Metro PCS.
Oh God. Oh shit.
The Home Depot.
Woo!
Oh.
2x4s.
Oh shit.
At the Subway.
Oh, hells yeah.
Yeah. I like
Tap card, baby.
This is just at the lawns up here. Easington sent this picture in. The
Woo!
Ice cream river.
Ice cream river. Everybody's rolling down the ice cream river. They got the raft and the ice cream river. They lowered it because it's the sweet
Ice cream river.
It's sweet. It's sweet. It's the
Ice cream river. Ow!
Stop it. Stop it.
Ben & Jerry's, baby.
Say hello to Snelling Street, everybody.
Howdy!
Snelling.
Badass Cactus. This was said by
Ouch!
Ershinton. This is over at the intersection of Helen and Sunday.
Ouch!
Badass Cactus. Big Jim's
Woo!
restaurant checked in at 78 degrees today.
Yeah.
Best cup of coffee in town. Tell him Austin Drizzles sent you.
I will.
Yes.
Be good.
Large James. Large James.
Thoughts? Thoughts?
Shut the fuck up.
I think that there's some people here who need to think about their actions a little bit. That might be interrupting the show a little bit. Maybe all of our enjoyment in watching the show.
Okay. Think about your actions before you take them. Go to bed tonight and write down in your diary if you're really okay with what happened. Big Jim. Oh, Arfington sent this picture in. And this is one of the squirrels that lives around here right over.
Motorcycle mouse. Adorable.
The squirrel just appeared in Glen Oaks. Look at the Glen Oaks squirrel. The Pink Motel checked in at 81 degrees today. Best cup of coffee in town. Tell 'em Austin Drizzle sent you. Over up on Irpin Street, Arsha Pausen sent this picture in and was very upset because they lived near this and had to drive by this and didn't want to have to drive by it, and asked if there was something we could do and maybe we could form a group that could go up and gather these pumpkins up and put them into a trash can and have them composted or just thrown against the pavement and thrown against the house. Nacho Charburger Teriyaki. Checked in at 78 degrees today. Best cup of coffee in town. Tell 'em Austin Drizzle. The Caesar. This is a event center right up here on Foothill Boulevard. And look at the wonderful events that are available here. This is just up here on Foothill Boulevard. Best cup of coffee in town. Tell 'em Austin Drizzle sent you. Checked in at 86 degrees today. This is in the Foothill Wash right off here. Arshipin saw this picture, thought it was too scary that there was a hole in the wall there that no one knew where it went, and wondered if we could have some people come up and eliminate that hole.
Fill it in.
We always ask people if they see rental opportunities because the rental market is very stiff here, and if you want to find a place to live, it's very tough. So if you see something under $1,500, take a picture. This is something by Arsham. Under $1,500. Cats okay, no dogs though. Under 50. Comes with a hose. This is regular.
Okay.
Under 50. 4 floors though. Really quite. This is something you might want to consider. 4 floors.
It's great.
Just up here. Ifa-san sent this picture in. This is on Foothill Boulevard, just up here on Big Tahunga, and someone had put this picture of a bear playing a drum with a stop sign, and they wondered if we could go up there as a group and get rid of that sign because it irritated them. And so tonight we're gathering a group that's going to go up there after the show tonight, and we're going to rip this sign out and we're going to stuff it into the car that's right there. We're going to stuff it in there, and then we're just going to walk out on there.
I think the bear was singing the No More Drumming song, actually.
Hey.
No more drumming. Just okay. This is we're winding it down. Anybody who was here earlier today saw that they're doing a paving project right here, and I went out there earlier. They're doing repaving, and I went out there as Austin Drizzles, and I spoke with this guy right here, and I asked him, "Could you please stop doing that?"
What did he say?
He said that the colorful language that he used was unfamiliar to me. But eventually they did leave, and I think that was part of the magic that I weave.
Yeah. Thank you.
Send this picture in. Stop Mayor's Suicide Park. Does anybody know what? Does anybody know what?
Every word is
I don't know. Arshipin sent this picture in, and I don't know what. Can we stop the Mayor's Suicide Park? Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's stop the Mayor's.
Stop it!
Stop
Let's do
the
it right
Mayor's Suicide Park. Stop the Mayor's Suicide Park. Stop it. Stop the Mayor's Suicide Park.
Stop!
work as our call.
Halloween City
Wait,
is
that's
just.
Toys R Us.
I know, it used to be Toys R Us, and now it's Halloween City. And we're supposed to be like, oh, I didn't even notice. Yeah, the entire economy of the entire world is collapsing before our eyes, but you put a sign over there and it says Halloween City, and we're supposed to go, hey, yay! No, not tonight. Not tonight. We're going, stop the Mayor's Suicide Park. Stop the Mayor's Suicide Park. Tickle Tree Cafe, just up here on Foothill Boulevard. Best cup of coffee in town. Has anybody been there? Just up here on Foothill Boulevard?
Yeah,
Tickle Tree, yeah.
pandas.
Yeah. Checked in at 81 degrees. Best cup of coffee in town. Tell them Austin Drizzle sent you. Food shop right up here on Foothill Boulevard. Best cup of coffee in town. Checked in at 78 degrees today. Tell them Austin Drizzle sent you. How about this weather?
Rain, right? It's rain.
This morning, a sprig of parsley that is wilted and moldy.
Oh.
This afternoon, sort of cruddy. Tonight, normal and dark. And now it's time for the Dog of the Week. And this is the time of the night, the time of the universe, the time when everything works out that we can honor the dog. That is Dog of the Week. And this week, who is it? The squirrel. Just up on Glen Oaks Boulevard.
I love canines!
Well,
Can't play this shit. Do that fucking nasty.
he's rocking, he's rolling, he's walking up and down the street.
Flacco!
Well, if you see him, why don't you go up and give him a kiss on the cheek? And if you see him, Flacco, you'll see him sitting there on the peak. He's unusual too. Hey, Dog of the Week. Oh, yes, he's Dog of the Week. Oh, yes, he's Dog of the it all adds
Dexter.
up to something that we call, when we think about it, unusual Tuesday. You never know what you'll find. You never know. All manner of things, all flavors, all kinds. What you got?
Unusual Tuesday.
Together we'll find our way out of the madness. Our way out of our mind. And all of those holidays, like Monday and Wednesday and Thursday, at least to my mind, they're just another bad news day. They're just a big waste of time. But not tonight. Oh hey, what's it called?
Unusual Tuesday.
Oh my God. Together we'll climb. We're gonna climb, right on out of the darkness. Right on out of our mind. And all of those what's it called again?
Unusual Tuesday.
Together we'll find our way out of our way out of our Thanks everybody for coming. We'll see you in 6 days.